Behind me is the Renault 5, the electric Renault 5, as we might not know, but we know definitely what a Renault 5 is. It's the old, nice Renault that we used to have, but now we have a new version of it, which is also electric, which looks also really nice. Could call it a nice microwave. The cool thing about this car is the design, of course. You have these lights over here, they light up. There's square-shaped lights over here. You also have square-shaped lights with indicators down here. Nice profile from the front, and here on the hood you actually have the battery indicator over here, which is now off, but when you actually use the car it is on. And check out this battery indicator over here. You have 5 rectangular shapes over here, which light up telling you how much battery you have. If you have 5 lights on, that means it's full, and then it decreases. Now moving on to the side here, the side profile is really nice. Take a look at the side over here. You have the charging port right here. You can charge it up. It supports up to, I believe, maybe somewhere around 10 kilowatt AC or higher. Even the B wasn't interested over there. We'll just close this thing real quick. Now this one is the iconic 5 package with the Harman Kardon speaker, which is really nice. Now moving on to the back over here, you got the rear seat, the rear door handles right here as it opens, and you just close it like that. Moving to the back, now here's the cool part. The back is actually really nice. You have these lights over here representing the old Renault 5, but you still have it really nice. It's a nice profile. And then of course the rear windshield. And moving on to the trunk, have some space over here. It has a reasonable amount of space. Here's the charging cable. I doubt that there's more space down there that you can actually put the charging cable. Okay, there might be. No, basically not really. You can't really fit a charging cable down there. But you have, reasonable for this small car to have this much space. And you can see it doesn't have electric trunk, which is kind of concerning, I guess. So let's move on to the driver's side. All right, let's check the driver's side now. See how this thing feels like when you sit inside it. It's a little bit difficult to get in here if you're very tall. The seat does move quite far back, but then the rear passengers aren't going to be able to sit here. Now I'm 177 centimeters, 5'7" or 5'8". It's kind of close to it, and it is fine. I guess I'm comfortable with this. It's okay. Everything feels nice and smooth, and you have a lot of cool things here. And the coolest part about this car, it is pretty cool to me, the gear selector. Now this is actually a really unusual gear selector for someone who doesn't drive a Renault, but this apparently it is a standard thing now. And then you have also the infotainment system over here. Now this thing is in Swedish, I apologize for that, and it's kind of a good infotainment. You have the Google Maps over here that you can check, which is nice. I believe it also calculates the route when you have to charge. And you have other things like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You also have the Play Store, which is really cool, and the radio and a bunch of other things. The car settings here, you can choose the modes. You can also choose the modes on the steering wheel over here, the multisense. When you press it, it changes. And another thing I forgot to mention about the gear selector, there's no P if you check it. There's no P, it's only R and N and D, and of course the engine braking. And then when you check down here, you have the parking brake and the auto hold, which is down here. Now this car is kind of special. You don't have a parking gear. Instead, you just shift it neutral, or you can just drag the parking brake up whenever you need it. And when you actually unbuckle the seat belts, it automatically shifts in neutral, which is nice. Now you also have the controls over here, the climate control, which is beautiful, and I feel like it has to be standard in every car that you have the climate control over here. Now this thing doesn't have a dual zone, but it does have a one zone. I guess you can control it, which is really nice. You have the hazards over here and unlock and lock button over there, and you got some extra space down here. Moving on to the passenger side, we're gonna check on, see, it has a really cool seat has a dual color seat down here, which is really nice, which is, oh, apologize for that. It is really nice, and it is beautiful, which is really cool, I guess. It has a dual color seat. It is a fabric. It's not too bad. No, it has a little bit of leather, fake leather, I would say, or synthetic leather, if I want to be correct. Over there, that's the passenger side door. It looks very casual. This thing does have heated seats. It's actually operated over here where you can choose now the car's off, but this is how it works. Pretty solid. The steering wheel looks normal. Oh yeah, also the infotainment, you can control here the volume for the driver, and I feel like it is kind of concerning. I'm not really sure how you control the volume on this. Kind of weird, but so perhaps you have to control it from here. It has one button. You have buttons over here for mode and source and volume. Of course, you press these two together and the volume goes completely out. Moving on to the glove box real quick. Very small glove box, but it's dampened, which is nice. And this light actually changes color. This is a light, by the way. It changes color. Now, it might not look like a light to you. It's quite difficult to get the camera to see it. It's actually a light. It was red earlier. It changes with modes. If we turn the car on, it's making some noises. See that? Isn't that cool? I feel like it is pretty cool. And then to turn the car off, you have actually a button here that you can turn it on and off, which is really nice. Now let's move on to the rear seats. Let's see how that looks. Before we move on, let's check the driver's side panel. It looks pretty casual there. You want to change the mirrors and fold the mirrors in, and you have the child window child lock, how you call it, and then you have, of course, 4 rows. And you have some ambient lighting over here as well, if I can get the camera to see it. Kind of not a really great spot. Maybe it looks better at night, but in day it doesn't look. And those are the vents, of course, and they're manually operated. Now let's move on to the rear seats. And that means you let it go. Oh man, this can be a little challenging. I can't even fit inside this thing. It is not great at all. I do not have space down here. As you can see, it is very tight. That's adjusted to my seating position. And the rear seat is, I have to say this, I'm sorry, but this is terrible. I mean, I understand that this is a small car, so I guess maybe someone who's shorter will have better opportunity down here. Personally, I have no comfort over here. I don't know if you can fold this. No, you don't have any center cup holder, I believe. No, you don't. No cup holders, no seating, heated seats. Have ISOFIX here in case you want to have extra seats for your baby. You have some lights here that are not operated. You can't turn them off. Now let's take the front trunk, if we want to call it, or the hood. Now this thing, if I can figure it out how you can open this. There. So as you can see, this thing does not have a frunk. I believe that's the electric motor down there. You got it casual, as you could see. You have the coolant over there. And you have, of course, the other things too that I don't think you would care about. But I mean, I believe it is reasonable. This car is very small and it doesn't have a frunk, which is not too crazy. Now this is a good car, I would say. I really like the design. It attracts people when you drive around. They're definitely going to take a look at it. Oh my god, it's such a cool car, such a great color combination. Now, like I said, this is the iconic 5 version with Harman Kardon speakers on. It doesn't have the... It also has the blind spot monitor as well, which is great. If you like this, you can get it, but it's a reasonable amount of price that you have to pay for it, but it's not too bad, I guess. Stay tuned for the other cars. Let me know if you guys want me to check another car.